And of course, you can call 0344 499 1000. What do we do about Putin? How do we handle this situation now? But first this morning, let's talk to Patrick Sherwin, who's an inventor and CEO of GoSun in Cincinnati, Ohio. And actually, this dovetails really well into us talking about Ukraine. Patrick is a successful entrepreneur and inventor who spent the last 20 years working on clean technology. He's also been touched by the Ukrainian invasion and decided he wanted to help. Let's get some more information directly from Patrick himself. Hello, Patrick. Good to see you.
Hello, Petri. Thanks for having me this morning.
We're talking about Ukraine this morning on the programme and Russia. Very worrying time for the world right now. But you were touched by the Ukrainian invasion. What was it about it particularly?
I think if you summarize this whole debacle, it's kind of the age-old thing that I've been fighting for my whole life. It's power to the people. The classic autocratic regime against a bunch of people that want to gather together and do the right thing. I think Putin is bitten off a little bit more than he can chew, and I hope that the free world proves that.
Yeah, certainly do. Difficult to know how to do it, though, isn't it? So you decided you wanted to help, though, in Ukraine. Most of us watch in horror. But don't do much. We might send money, we might help out with bits and pieces. But what galvanized you to do this, and what did you do?
Yeah, I mean, every little bit helps, and I'm no different. I'm over here on the other side of the planet, well distant. But I've been building a brand with GoSun to be for people that have needs, off-grid needs. Cooling, charging, lighting, water purification, sanitation. And in the case of the Ukraine, we were called into action from a new nonprofit that started, the Ukraine Air Rescue. And they were needing to quickly ship medicines into Poland for treatments to refugees. And we donated coolers. We've been donating our portable solar-powered coolers so that medicines can be carried via air freight immediately and quickly to be dispatched amongst the refugees.
And these solar-powered units now are incredibly advanced, aren't they? What was your technology that you can do this? Because a lot of people think, well, it's got to be directly in the sun if it's going to be solar power. How have you managed to tweak that technology?
Yeah, we basically adapted the refrigerator at home. A brushless DC compressor motor is now incorporated into a small 40-liter cooler. And these coolers run on 12-volt on household power as well as on solar. So they have a wide range of ways they can be charged. And they have an inbound lithium-ion battery as well. So we kind of build products to be highly versatile and set up for situations like this where, we're really being drawn and needing resilient technology to build security. And so this is just one of many of the products that GoSun offers. We have solar-powered cooking devices that also run on 12-volt and household power and use a fraction of the energy of the incumbent, gas-powered device. And our whole mission is to try to move people away from fossil fuel dependency, away from having to buy things from the store, and again, have independence and self-reliance.
It's interesting. Was necessity the mother of invention with these coolers for medical stuff, or were you already making?
Yeah, we were already making them. Our first market is the recreational market, so camping, boating, beaching, right. And of course, everything we build, we think about resilience. I'm an old solar engineer. I've been involved in solar design and off-grid for a long, long time. And so I'm always thinking about what's needed to be sufficient here. What are the needs? It's kind of a Boy Scout approach. How do we keep people thriving, maintaining culture and decency in the absence of grid or water or utility powers?
And that must be, are you able to help Ukraine in other ways? Because clearly, as they're being bombarded, they've lost electricity, they've lost the ability to cook, they've lost the ability to switch on a light. So have you been able to help with other things, these off-grid technology?
We have, but we aren't doing enough specifically in the Ukraine. We'd like to do more. So if there are nonprofits in the audience here, please reach out to GoSun. We have a huge arm of our business that's dedicated to disaster relief. We have a lot of disasters in our world today, unfortunately. We've got the hurricanes hitting the Caribbean right now, and of course what happened in Pakistan. And so we're actually currently dispatching some of our water purification systems in those environments. But by all means, and our whole goal is that we started as a recreational brand. We're selling products to people in the United States, Europe, Australia. And then we're using disaster relief to help value engineers our products so we can get to the bottom of the pyramid, which is, of course, there's a couple billion people in the world still living without good access to water or power, still burning charcoal and wood every day for cooking.
And can you see any sort of domestic application for these? Because there are people listening and watching this morning who are fearful of their energy bills. They're concerned that it's not going to get any easier with gas and electricity across the globe. We know that for certain. No matter what happens, we are going to run out at some stage. So are you sort of leaning towards trying to do that as well, to give us some sort of easier and cheaper domestic appliances?
Absolutely. Yeah. And GoSun is fairly well represented in the UK and throughout Europe. And again, that's our number one market is kind of what we call the off-grid recreationalist. And off-grid starts in your backyard, and then it extends to the campsite. But whenever the grid is down, I mean, you're nailing it, Petri. Any kind of flood, fire, storm situation, you'll need our products, and that's what we build them for. So you thrive and enjoy them when things are good.
Yeah.
There for you when you need them.
And how much are you finding that? I mean, tragically, we are seeing more weather disasters. We're seeing those fires. We're seeing those floods. It's kind of tragic, isn't it, that your products are so needed at the moment?
Yeah. You never want to let a good disaster go to waste. That's my ironic reality. Listen, my whole interest is serving others. We've been building these things to meet essential needs in the most efficient and sufficient way possible. And if that market and that opportunity continues to grow, great. I hope a lot more companies see this need and help fuel these real needs so that, again, we can maintain decency, maintain all the beauty that we have created and not watch it crumble, because it is definitely being tested.
No, I'm sure it is. I mean, I think one of the most remarkable inventions, of course, is the wind-up radio. I have bought myself a wind-up radio because in case there's a power cut or anything like that, and I can charge my phone from it. And that literally is just energy. It's just me winding it up. I mean, that's the most extraordinary thing. Are you looking to dovetail anything like that in? Because the sun's not quite reliable. Battery building is going to be difficult in the future because we're going to run out of the components to build the batteries. Particularly, we can't harness enough of solar energy at the moment because of batteries or wind energy. So that's the next thing, isn't it? Is to make batteries more long life, to make them bigger or make them smaller or just make them tougher.
Yeah, you're nailing it. I appreciate how you're thinking about this. And using human energy is a fantastic way to get through the crises. Absolutely. And again, a big thing for us is to make the appliance very, very efficient and really think, like, for example, we made a coffee brewing system. A lot of times that's a critical need. And
it is for
we
me.
made the most efficient way to make coffee ever. And so now the amount of power or the battery size of the solar system that you'll need to create that coffee is a lot smaller since the product is so efficient. But I'm a big believer in the low tech technology that you're speaking of.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's just a crazy thing. It's a phenomenal thing. This little radio that will charge my phone as long as I don't get tired. I just think it's extraordinary that energy is there. But in the future though, batteries will be a problem, won't they? What are we going to do when we can't build batteries?
I think we're going to keep figuring it out. This lithium-ion wave is certainly sweeping the entire globe. Obviously, the electric vehicle is demanding huge amounts of lithium, but I think we're I think we're keeping up with the supply for the most part, despite all of the rumors and all the hype. Of course, humans are rather hype-centric creatures. I think something else will come shortly after. In the next decade, there's going to be something in the ultracapacitor, supercapacitor space that will now undo lithium, just like lead has been undone. And again, as things get more and more efficient, we won't have as much power demand over time. And I truly believe that as well.
It's very exciting, actually, isn't it? Looking at this technology of the future. Not very exciting for places like Saudi Arabia, of course. But if we're looking at battery-powered everything, that would be absolutely incredible. Great to talk to you, or solar-powered everything. Patrick Sherwin there, inventor and CEO of GoSun in Cincinnati, Ohio. Thank you very much indeed for that. So clean technology is helping the war in Ukraine. Extraordinary thing. Solar-powered, ice-free coolers that are temperature controlled so medication can get anywhere and help everyone. Amazing stuff.